That's for the video people. People who are watching online. It's these two and her. Wow, some of you are done. Wow, that didn't take long. Yeah, thank you for not writing a lot. The less you write, the less I have to try to interpret. So yeah, why don't you pass that in if you're done. If you're still working on it, don't panic. I'll let you know when it's time to panic. You don't need this. Once we get started, you won't need it. I didn't rush you.
I was like, bro,
I'm rushing you. We'll get your Jolly Rancher there. Don't bring the cheese on. I did crack a cheese on Jolly Rancher. I won't eat a Jolly Rancher.
Oh, one of my friends gets like really mad whenever I chew on the Jolly Rancher. So like, sometimes
we're going to be doing some discussion here in just a minute. Here we go. Good job.
I just do it.
I know you're trying to make it perfect. Good job. Okay. I think I got them all.
I'm like John doing my
All right. Before I staple, do I have anyone holding out on me? It's going to the stapler. It's going. It's going. It's gone. Okay. Okay. Anyway, okay, so I put this up here for the video people. Let us see what the answers are. So answers will vary. So here, answers will vary. The ones that I was thinking of are the ones from the McGuire reading. I love, I can't tell you how much of a breath of fresh air these readings are from what we had last year. Just in terms of like the McGuire stuff is so good, isn't it? And understandable and relatively easy to read. And I appreciated her description of how to improve my reading, because I don't do these things. But anyway, these things about paraphrasing, you might have remembered that. What was there was pre-read or something like that. So there were 3 P's right at the beginning. But here I'll show you what I have. Wait, where's my list? Here it is. So the McGuire. Here's McGuire. Like I said, I was remembering the first 3: the preview, the paraphrasing, preparing. But she had 10 different things that she said on her list. So anything there would be fine. But it was those 3 that but I didn't want to make you come up with those because maybe you had a different focus. What do you think?
Oh, I was going to say, what about the other ones?
Yeah, we're coming. I'm coming.
Okay, I was just going to make sure.
No. I just wanted to. We're coming back to it. We're going to use this though. So I got this. There's that one. Yeah, don't worry. We're good. I got you covered. Look here we go. So Adler was more of a physical. It was more of like, how do you physically read the book? And I do find it a little bit funny that we go over this and we're a third of the way through the semester now. But it's good, better late than never, right? So these are all such good things that you can do. We're going to do 2 things today. So one is going to be just a quick discussion. It's a big group, and I'm curious about both of these. So here's the stuff from McGuire, sort of the summary. And I think, did both of them have lists like this? Just a sec. Let me just see what this is. McGuire, right at the front, she had her list on this first page. And then Adler, I think, didn't he have it as a list somewhere? Yeah. So his list was a little bit less concise, and I've kind of narrowed it down into just the essentials: underline, vertical lines in the margin, star, asterisk, numbers, those sorts of things. So let's go back. We can go back and forth, but I'm curious, as you read this over, was there anything that you looked at and you said, oh, I do that already? And that's really helpful to me. Like, is there anything that you do that you see here that you would encourage other people to do, I guess? That's what I'm curious about. Because if you already do it, then you could give your testimonial and say, this stuff does work. What works for you, Bodhi?
I like paraphrasing, like putting it into my own words, because I feel like once I put it into my own words, it's more likely to stick in my head.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, that's a great point. So just sort of thinking about the book and trying to understand it in your own words.
Yeah.
What do you think, Michael? What do you do?
For my AP Lang class, we already read how to read a book for that class.
Oh, Adler?
Yeah.
Oh, hilarious. Wait, for what class?
AP Lang. AP Language and
Oh, okay, so this is a CC, wait,
It was a high school.
in high school, yeah, okay.
And what I found most helpful was like going through different, like you read the table of contents, the back, the introduction, and you try to get a feel of like what the book is trying to get at before you actually read the whole thing.
So the Adler goes, I've never read the whole Adler book, but so he mentions that as a strategy. That's interesting because that's sort of what this previewing is. It's like the same idea. It's like, let's get a feel for like, what is this all about? And then it'll help to, have some hooks to hang your hat on, so to speak. Very nice. What else did you see that you do? What do you think, Trevor?
Definitely underlining for sure, at least on this slide for me.
Uh-huh.
Just a lot, it helps me focus because if I think something's a key point, I'll underline it. But the other thing on the last slide was taking notes by hand, at least for me. If I type it, I can do it without really thinking about it, but for writing it by hand, it's definitely something that helps me out for a lot.
Right, was that on this slide or?
Yeah, number 6.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Going to class. I guess I was so focused on going to class. Get yourself in class. It's really going to help. Yeah, people who don't go to class generally don't do well. Brooklyn, you had something you want to chime in on?
I like underlining, but also like writing a word or two to remember like what it's about, but also kind of like he said, paraphrasing, but like at the end of each chapter, so I like remember what each chapter's about.
Excellent. Yeah, so it's sort of like the circling of keywords. You're making your own notation about like this is about this, and it's the same thing though. You're taking the general idea, sticking it in there so that it sticks in your brain. That's beautiful. Other things that you guys are excited about. Anna, what do you do?
I use the textbook even when it's not necessarily necessary.
Ooh, wait. That's an interesting way of putting it, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Like I'm a bio major, and sometimes the way the professor explains it doesn't really make sense, but the textbook really lays it out, and the definitions really clear, like it'll hold them. So I'll like read that chapter from what we were.
So using the textbook, even if it's not necessarily assigned, I like that. So it says not required, but you know how it is. Like I have math textbooks. Did I bring? No, I didn't. I don't think any of my math students read the textbook the way that I did in college. But being willing to crack it open and take a look is useful. So very nice. Yeah. What do you think, Ryan? I'll get you started. Great.
I do number 10 with history and.
Oh, creating your own practice exams. That's brilliant. I mean, what a great thing. And then you could study with someone else and say, take my exam and see if you can pass it. Very nice. Grace, what do you do?
For my computer science class right now, and like my math classes in the future and in the past, I do the homework about you looking at like the solved examples, number 7. That is very helpful.
Yeah. So this might be something foreign to some of you because if you're not, well, you might not. I've been surprised at how many students don't realize that in the back of a math text there are the answers. The answers are back there for at least half the problems usually, right? And so you could just go back there and see what the answers are. But yeah, it's important to do the work and then check it out. And this is also true for the solved examples in the text, like in the body of the text. You can do this. Very nice. By the way, one of the things that we've kind of gotten away from in our modern era is physical textbooks. So like your biology book, is it physical?
Yeah.
So physical, and do you have a physical book for your computer science? It's not, yeah. See, I find that like I've gone back. I used to have like an online for calculus, but this semester I'm like, I'm done. I gotta have physical. And so I've got the physical book and everyone's toting around the giant calculus book. But what it does for you is it allows you to just flip back a few pages and say, oh, let me see this example. Whereas online, it's not as easy. I know you can click around, but it doesn't seem to happen as often. And you aren't going to just flip around and say, oh, that's a pretty picture, and then be like, interesting. So it's harder to peruse an online book, I think. Very nice. Are there other things before we move on? I've got a little project for us to do. Yeah. Why can't I think Carter? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And Hudson is next to you, right?
Yes.
All right, what do you think, Carter?
When Adler was talking about like writing in your book and like being more like connected to it and get more out of it, I've noticed that like when I'm reading my Bible, when I like write down stuff or like underline stuff or like literally just drawing in my Bible, like whatever it is, like it does allow you to be like more connected to what you're reading and get more out of what you're reading.
Absolutely, yeah. So when you're, even if it's just, yeah, like you say, doodling or circling or anything, you're like, you know, you can't wander. Your mind can't wander as easily. Yeah. Anything else? I don't want to shut it off before, you know, because these are such great, you know, testimonials to understand that it's not just Sandra McGuire and Adler who are saying this stuff is good. We have people here who know that these things are good because they've done this. So thank you for sharing. Does anyone else want to share though? So I really appreciate this. You know, that you're willing to say, hey, you know, I've done this. I know it's good. Yeah, Grace?
Throughout high school, I also taught my friends the math homework.
Oh, nice. Okay, so wait, which one is that? Is that?
Number 8.
It's number 8. Yeah, teach your material to either a real or imagined audience. I like that. Yeah, teaching, oftentimes, that's how you really understand something. If you can teach it, then you know it. You can't fake it when you're teaching it. I've tried. It's hard. So, very nice. Yeah, I'll tell you a story, and then I'll see if anyone else wants to chime in. So when I read this over, I was reminded of my wife will oftentimes, maybe not oftentimes, but every now and then she'll make me read a book with her. So what'll happen is while she's doing some sort of housework like ironing, I will read to her out loud, and then when I'm doing some housework like doing the dishes, because that's just the division of labor in our house, then she'll read to me. So it's that sort of thing, and then we'll discuss it or whatever. But like one of them is the Dallas Willard book that, you know, you've got a chunk here. We read that together years ago. The Richard Foster book that you have 2 sections. In fact, there's one that we're going to have to do for Monday. We read that book together years ago as well. But what I really valued, or at least what really helped me when we were doing this is either way, either I'm reading to her or she's reading to me. When we got done with a section, we would, you know, I would say, I have no idea what that said. I mean, usually that's the way it was. So I'd be like, I have no idea what that, and she would paraphrase it to me, and then I'd be, okay, I get it now. So it was, I mean, sometimes I would do the paraphrasing. I would say, is this what this is saying? Because usually she's smarter than me, so I would do my best to try to keep up with her. But that paraphrasing was so helpful in understanding what's going on in the book. So anyone else, like I said, I don't want to, if you've got something that really helps you, works for you, I want to give you a chance to chime in. All right, well, I hope you all have your book today. Anyway, because the project that we have is based on the book. So let me, here's how we're going to do this. Don't get packed up. We're not done. Here's what I want to do. Here's the homework. This is the reason why I'm going to do this is because it's based on the homework, what we're about to do. So here's the homework. Yeah, I know you all want to take a photo. I don't know why, because it's in your syllabus. But it's a reminder that you have these 2 readings. Richard Foster, I mentioned Foster just a minute ago, a wonderful author. He wrote this back in the I want to say either the late 80s or early 1990s, I don't know which. Celebration of Discipline, and it's the discipline of study that you'll be reading about for Monday. But the other reading, Simone Weil. Okay, so I know you're looking at that saying, that's a W. Yeah, it's W, but it's pronounced Weil, okay? But it's Weil because she is either Austrian or German, I don't know which. I don't think it makes a difference nowadays, does it? Austrian, German, they're all the same? Well, didn't they get together during World War II?
Forcibly.
Okay, close enough. Yeah, well, one of the forcibly, I love that. Anyway, yeah, you can see how much I know. Wait, is this being recorded? Oh, no. Okay, but getting back, Simone Weil. So her name is Weil, so I know you're looking at it while, whatever. But it's Simone Weil. Reflections on the Right Use of School Studies with a View to the Love of God. So that I found every time I read it, I have a hard time. It is so hard for me to read. And so I thought that maybe to get us started, we could take that and use some of the techniques that were described here. And so here's what we're going to do is in just a minute, just be patient. Let me give you the instructions. So in just a minute, what I'd like you to do is to find a group of maybe 2 or 3 people, and try to do, we're going to do the 3 things. Here's the 3 things that we're going to do. We're going to go back to this. We're going to do some previewing. Okay, so here's the first task is to do I should give you we're not doing the whole thing. Sorry. Just a sec. I had this picked out. I should have written it down. Give me a sec here. It's Simone Weil. This is page 90 in our thing, and I thought that it would be okay if we stopped with the first 2 pages. It's page 90 and 91, but the paragraph that is at the bottom of page 91 continues at the top of page 92. So I thought if we just focused on that would at least get us started for this. So the first task is previewing. So what we're going to do is we're going to do those first 3 tasks. Number 1 is previewing. In just a minute, you're going to find a group of 2 or, with at least 2 or 3 other people, but no more than 3 other people, and try to preview. Previewing means what? Just get a feel. Usually you're looking for headings, but there are no headings. So try to just feel, what are they talking? What is she interested in? You don't have to have the thesis or whatever, but just what are we dealing with here? Previewing. Then after we do that, we'll talk about that. Then we'll do preparing for active reading, and then we'll do paraphrasing. So we'll talk about what to do with those in just a minute. But go ahead, find a group, and take a look at those first 2 pages and see if you can tell me what in the world she's interested in here. So do the previewing with your group, and then discuss it, and then we'll come up with a description. Yeah, there they are, previewing, and so forth.
This is what it sounds like. She's going to a Christian school. She's being taught good regular school studies. Yes. She wants to study all the subjects. So she says school children who love God should never say that I like my child better because I think that they should learn to like all the subjects.
All right, do we have some hooks to hang our hats on?
Yeah.
Maybe? Maybe, let's find out. Let me randomize this. So, oh, wait, not here. Where did he go?
Oh,
Micah, he's gone. He's disappeared.
no, he's there.
Oh, here he is. Should we make him answer? I just randomized.
What's the question?
You got chosen. What's the big picture on this one? What's the preview? What did your group say?
I only read about half a page.
That's okay. Wait, did you?
About half a page, I would say. Schools only.
School. Okay, just a minute. That's enough.
School. Okay.
School. You got something about school, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's next? We got Trevor. Trevor, what do you got? Anything for your group?
Yes, about religion.
Religion. Okay. Is it E or I? Religion. That doesn't look right. What's wrong with me? I know. Okay, wait, we're done with Trevor. What about Logan? Logan, what did you say? Oh, come on, it's on 90. You should have been doing this. Yeah, so we'll skip Logan for now. We'll come back to you, don't worry. Wait, it's 90, right? 90, 91? Okay, yeah. So you're just looking for words, something. Like look at the first sentence of the different paragraphs. Emma, I guess we're all over here now. Emma, did you have anything in addition to what your group, Trevor, said? It's got religion and school, and that's it. All right, yeah, it's kind of hard. Well, maybe like, there's got to be some people over here when I randomize. Just a minute. Let me just see. Can I get someone on that side? Danny, do you have anything that you saw? Any words or topics that you see there? Things that we're going to be seeing in the future as we read this? Natalie's not here. She would know for sure. Let me find someone over there on this side. Hudson knows. Hudson, what do you think? You got anything that we can add to the list that this reading appears to be about? Yeah, this is just a preview. We're previewing.
Yeah, I don't know, it said something about a crow can't find food in the dark.
Crows. Okay, so we got some crows. Crows. So you saw that in there. That's interesting. Okay, no, that's great. Let's see. I'll open up to anyone else. You guys in the front wanted. I know. I kept clicking. Why aren't the front row coming? Okay, what do you got? Attention. Okay, yeah, that word seemed to show up several times, and it might be worthwhile to think about for some of you to have good attention. Sorry. Okay, so attention. Anything else that popped up? What do you say, Kyle? Prayer. We have prayer. Very nice. So you see words like that showing up. So this is, previewing. This, I got to tell you that this is one of the hardest readings, at least that I found. So I don't want to set you up for failure, but I just want you to be aware that I had a lot of trouble with this every time I read this. It's similar in language and in difficulty level, in my mind, to the C.S. Lewis reading. So I don't know if you remember that one. That was hard, but if you took your time, it was better. And I think following some of McGuire's suggestions, I think that this actually is going to be easier for me this time. I'm going to really try this time to follow McGuire's suggestions, especially the paraphrasing. I think that's going to be key. But let's get big picture. We've got sort of this idea. It would have helped if there were some like headings so we would know what to expect. You have the title. The title might give us some hints. It says Reflections on the Right Use of School. We have school. Studies, so there's study there. With a view to the love of God. So we're going to expect probably something about school, something about studying, something about God. We've got religion there. So and yeah, as I scan through the first couple of pages, I see the word attention shows up several times. So let's move on to the second thing, and that is preparing. We are preparing for active reading. You're not going to be reading at this point. You're just getting ready. And the getting ready, let me remind you what McGuire suggests. She says that the preparing for active reading is like previewing on steroids. Let me find the previewing on steroids here. Give me a sec. So she says, come up with questions that the reading can answer. So let me just read this first sentence here. Once you've looked at the bold and italicized text, I know there was none, and any charts and graphs, you still want to do one more thing, and that is give yourself a reason to read. So what is it? What are the questions that you think could be answered from this reading? Now here's a hint. Since we've already done the big picture, the previewing, those questions will probably have to do with these things. And I have some questions now that I see that list. But go ahead and come up with some questions that you hope this reading will answer. And they may get answered by the reading, maybe they won't. But just come up, they don't have to be, just come up with something. You can work with your friends. And then don't worry, Logan, I'm coming back to you. I told you I would. So. No. Go dig out my notes. Simone Weil. All right, I can tell for sure that Makai and Bodie have a question, but we'll come back to you. Don't worry, I'll get to you. But I promised Logan that he get to answer this. Logan, what do you got for a question that you might hope gets answered? And it could be anything. Yeah, any question that you think that you would hope that would get answered from the reading. So it's not in the reading that you should be looking. It should be looking at like what we've previewed. Yeah, we should be looking at the preview here. So we're previewing this right here. We did the previewing just a minute ago. Remember we were looking for the big picture? Yeah, so you've already gotten the big picture. And this is, oh, it's up here. Sorry, pointing the wrong place. So you've got your big picture, or at least you've got an idea of what this reading is about, and you're hoping to hear, you're hoping Simone Weil will tell you about something. What is it that you hope she tells you about? Okay, so what's up with the crows? I want to know that as well, to be honest. So what's up with the crows? I like that. Because I had the same question. I have never really focused on the crows. So I'm going to do that this time. Okay, but now this group, I understand you guys were excited about something. Makai, you had some?
Oh, yeah.
What question did you have that you wanted to ask? Wait, I thought Makai is the one. He's going to make you do it?
I guess so. No, he had a good thought.
Oh, okay, so you're outing Luke. Luke, did you have something that you want to help Makai out with?
I like how can we increase our attention span?
Okay. So, how can we increase, which is something important, isn't it? attention span. Okay, what else can we expect to, I guess anyone who wants to answer could do this. I know Trevor wants, or yeah, Trevor, you dying to answer. What do you got?
So how does school, or how does religion fit in school? And why do crows keep making me lose my attention when I'm praying?
Wait, just a minute. How does
I thought we were
religion?
supposed to include them all, so.
Oh, that's hilarious. No, you don't have to include them all. These are just like, these are things you notice, like you might see section headings or
I
boldface
get it
words
now,
and
but
stuff
it's
like
just
that.
too
And then you'd be like, well, I don't know about that boldface word. You don't have to include them all. It reminds me though, I don't know if you were in English class in high school, if you had to do this exercise, or maybe middle school it was, but my daughter would have to write a sentence for each of her vocabulary words. And so I encouraged her to come up with a single sentence that included all 5 of them, and then she would write it 5 times. And she did that a few times, and I thought it was funny. Yes, sir?
So for our essay, is it due before class or after class?
It's due at midnight that night, or 11:59 p.m.
Gotcha.
Okay, so how does religion, sorry I got distracted by that,
How does religion fit into school?
fit into school? Good. And then you also had the crows. How do crows, okay. But I suppose, I don't know. I got to be honest, I don't remember the crows from my reading, but it's been a while since I've read this. It's been a year since I've read this particular reading. And so I'm going to be looking for the crows, because I have no idea how the crows fit in. So I'm like Logan. I'm like, what's up with the crows? I can't remember if I knew at one point. What else do we want to know? What are we hoping for, Kyla? Okay, attention and prayer. What's that relationship, right? Relationship. Question mark. Good. So yeah, there's a relationship. You could also ask the question, what's the relationship between attention and crows, or crows in prayer, I suppose. But probably the attention, I can say for sure that question will be answered in this reading, is what is the relationship between attention and prayer? Is there anything else before we do the next phase? We're almost to the final phase, which I know you're excited about. Okay, so there's a few questions. I think that this is a hard reading. I just want to tell you that this, coming up with questions that you're hoping this will answer, I chose to do this one because it's so hard. I don't think you'll have as much difficulty with the Foster reading. Like if you look at the Foster, if you flip back just a few pages, you look at the Foster reading and you see you have some section headings. What is study? There's the question and the big picture. You get it both in 2 for 1. And then you turn the page and you have 4 steps. So you have the big picture, there's 4 steps. And over here for the question, what are the 4 steps? I mean, it's so easy when you have a reading that's nicely organized. I'm not saying that Vey is badly organized. It's just, and some of my colleagues love Simone Weil. Like, I remember I told you about how we met at the beginning of the summer to discuss this stuff. I said something slightly negative about Simone Weil, and I think 3 of my colleagues were like all over me, like, this is such a great writer, and you know what she went through, and I don't. So anyway, but it's hard. It's harder reading, and like you'll find that the Foster, you'll be able to do this, and I encourage you to practice this for the Foster reading too. But you'll be able to come up with the big picture much quicker. You'll be able to come up with the questions much quicker. So I thought that this would be helpful for the Simone Weil reading. Let's just do the last thing. What is the last thing? Paraphrasing. Okay, we're not going to paraphrase the whole thing, but let me remind you what McGuire says about paraphrasing, how to do it right. You read over the paragraph, 1 or 2 paragraphs, whatever it is, and then in your own words, you come up with what is that even saying? And then you move on to the next paragraph, read it over, and you incorporate the next one. So you don't get rid of what you've just paraphrased. You keep that in mind, and then you add to it, so you have this snowball effect as you go through the reading. That was revolutionary for me, to be honest, because I don't think I've ever done it that way, where I've gone through and read and then kind of said, I usually do it this way. I read a section and I say, now what did that say? And then I just delete that from my mind. I know, I don't really, but I kind of move on and I say, okay, next section. I don't usually think in terms of it snowballing. So I think that that's going to be revolutionary. So here's what I'd like you to do. This is going to be a little tedious, not too bad, is let's take just the first three, maybe is 3 chapters enough? Or not 3 chapters, 3 paragraphs. They're not long. 3 paragraphs. Take a look at those 3 paragraphs. Here's what I'd like you to do is take the first one, read it over by yourself, but then find your neighbor and try to express what is that paragraph saying, and then move on to the next one and then do the same thing, but try to incorporate it into the first thing and then the third one. So let's just do those 3. Take a few minutes. Let's work through this, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll get to the end of the class. Unbelievable. Sorry. Makai, did you do it?
I did not.
You did? Why not?
I don't have my book.
Why don't you have your book?
Here you go, my guy. You can borrow one.
They're so short. They are so short.
read,
Did you
but I
read the thing?
looked at it and went,
You,
what?
okay, it says like committee members with the two dots.
Okay, I don't understand what committee.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's
What
11
committee?
p.m.
What members?
It just says dear committee members.
Danny, you're done?
Did you read the thing?
All right, good job. Excellent. I guess then we're all done. You're done, Logan? All right, good job. Okay, let's do this. I realized, Makai, that I actually had 2 copies with me. Check this out. This is the copy, this is the before we put it into like the, so it looks good. It's all pixelated. I don't know if you can see from the back, but it's horrible to
Is
read.
that why we get typos?
Yeah, you do get typos for that reason, but at least you don't lose your mind trying to, like, some of this is really blurry. Let's see, like this stuff, pre-underlined. So anyway, yeah, well, okay, so let's take a look at this. I gotta tell you, I actually, this is the first time that I've actually tried what McGuire suggests. We didn't use McGuire last year as a text. So this is the first time, and I was standing up here doing it, and I couldn't believe how it helped me to understand. I mean, I'm serious. I don't know if you have this same sense, but just summarizing what each paragraph in your mind, like what does that paragraph say, and then thinking about the next one, I feel like I've got a better grasp on Vey, and I'm kind of looking forward to reading it again with this technique. But anyway, getting back to this, let's paraphrase this thing. All right, Brandon, what do you got with me, or for me, for the first paragraph? Do you have anything? Can you just sort of quickly paraphrase? Tell me what she's talking about.
Prayer consists of attention.
I love it. That's what I was thinking, something to that effect, right? Prayer is attention. Prayer consists of attention. I love that. Prayer consists of attention. Sorry, it's so bad written there. Okay, very nice. Prayer is attention. That seems to be what she's getting at, doesn't it? Okay, next, let's find the next volunteer. Michael, can you build on that for paragraph 2?
For paragraph 2. I'll be honest, we really only touched on like the first and second paragraph here, and talk about the second one.
Oh, you only talked about the first one.
The first and the third one.
Oh, yeah, the third one. Okay, well, we'll come back to you then when maybe we'll see if the randomizer really wants you to talk. So, no, I'll tell you, it's fine. I don't want to put you out. Makai, though, you know what, you've got it right there. Can you sort of expand on number 1 to get to number 2? What's paragraph 2 all about?
Oh, it's about like your attention on
God,
God.
there it is. We got it. Okay, so prayer consists of attention, specifically. I have too many L's there and not a C. To God. Our attention is to God. So when we pray, we're interested in attention, and that attention is focused on God or towards God. Our attention is turned towards God. Very nice. Thank you, Makai. One more. We're on number 3. Let's hope you get randomized here. Let's find out. Wait, I've already picked on you. Gracie Ann, I haven't picked on you. Can you tell me about the third paragraph? Anything that we can snowball or add to this?
Anything that increases the quality of your attention will in turn increase your contact with God.
Okay, so if we can learning, I'm just going to even paraphrase her paraphrase because I don't want to have to write too much because I'm having trouble. So learning about attention helps us our relationship with God, something like that. Can I say it like that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I know that's not exactly right, not exactly what she's saying, but we'll work with this because it's okay. We're still interacting with the text here. Okay, there's one little nugget though that I'm kind of hoping we hit on with that third paragraph. Does anyone have anything they want to add to that about the third paragraph? This is beautiful, by the way. But is there anything else about this that you noticed in the third paragraph? What do you think, Anna?
School helps develop your attention skills so you can use those skills for prayer.
Yeah, so where do we learn about attention? Where do we develop that attention? It's in school. So learning about attention, maybe I could put this up here in a little thing, in school will help us. So when you're learning not to play Clash of Clans, and you're learning to focus your attention on your studies, you're actually learning about prayer. You're learning about how to relate to God better because you're helping to develop that attention span. Excellent, very nice. I hope that this is helpful to you because I have a hard time reading myself, and I'm very excited now to try out this technique on this particular reading. Because if I can do Simone Weil, I feel like I could do any of the readings. So do your best with this reading. Oh, homework, just a sec. Haven't done it. Okay, couple things quickly. So just a few things. We've got this. I had someone ask me, I forget who it was, so it may be someone on the video, asked me about a sport ball practice. So I don't remember who you were, but if you have sport ball practice, you're going to have to make a decision. But your coaches know, and my boss said that it's important to go to this, that you can go, but he said that I can use my judgment, I guess. So if you are a sport ball person that has practice, talk to me. And I don't know what to do if you miss this, but whatever. And then we've done that. We don't need to talk about that. Where's the homework? Here's the homework. Okay, so just as a quick reminder, you have these 2 readings. You've already started at least 3 paragraphs with Weil. And then you've got journal entry 4 to worry about. That's due Sunday night. Yep. And then essay 1 is due Monday night. So Monday night, not during class, but Monday night is essay 1. And hopefully I'll start returning some of your journal entries. But at least I got the first one done. All right, I'm going to stop the recording if you need to come talk. And we'll see you on Monday.